Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be checking out the Gate to Sovngarde mod list. We're going to be doing an installation guide, as well as checking out some visuals in combat, and then towards the end of the video, we're going to be doing a performance test. And for those of you that don't know what Gates of Sovngarde is, this mod list focuses on immersion. So NPCs will react to different actions in the world, and it makes the world like a dynamic. It also has a pretty large emphasis on graphics, but focuses more on systems that are more mid-range, so more people can run this mod list. Now, this specific mod list uses Vortex, unfortunately. It doesn't use Wabbajack, so there are some quirks that we're gonna have to work through to use Vortex, and I'll be showing you guys how to do so in this video. Additionally, I've added chapters so you guys can skip ahead if needed. So here we are on the Nexus mods page. Another thing, you will probably need Nexus Premium, just FYI. I think you can install this without it, but it's going to be much faster if you just have Nexus Premium for 1 month or whatever it is. So we're going to have to install Vortex here. And in this case, it's putting it into a program files system here. And in my case, I want to just keep everything on my E drive, which is a drive that I've used specifically for modding. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've already made a folder for it here. But I'm going to put it into this folder. And then inside of this folder here, we'll make another folder, and we'll just call it Vortex for all the installation files for the program itself. And once that's completed, we can go ahead and hit Run Vortex. Now, before we start downloading this mod list, there's a few things that we're going to want to do for setup files. Now, it's my understanding that Vortex will actually modify the vanilla theme files of your Skyrim installation, and we just don't want it to be doing that. So in my case here, I'm on my E drive with all of my installation files, including where I've moved Skyrim to in this Steam library here. Now, typically, Wabbajack will pull the files from this folder and make a copy. In this case, I believe that Vortex will actually modify these files here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of the Skyrim Special Edition. And I'm going to put it just inside of this folder here, the Vortex folder that we just made. Call it Skyrim Install Files. Now, one thing that you'll want to make sure to do prior to doing this step is run Skyrim one time and download all the Anniversary Edition content and everything you need, and make sure it just essentially runs one time before you move all the files over to this folder. All right, so back in Vortex, we're going to want to link our premium account if we have one. You're going to hit this button here, then go ahead and hit Authorize, Continue. Going to show up right here. Now, the next thing we want to do, we want to go over to our Games tab, and we want to go ahead and find Skyrim Special Edition. So here it is here. And before we hit Manage, we want to hit these 3 dots here because we moved our installation folder. See, it's already scanned my files and it's found that default location for my Steam directory. However, it's my understanding that Vortex will actually modify the vanilla files, which is why we made that copy earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Set Manual Location, that Vortex folder, Skyrim installation files, and then the Skyrim Special Edition here, the copy we made. And this is a Steam version, so I'm going to select that. And now, once we've done that and we've set the location of the folder, we can hit Manage here. Now, before we install this collection, there's a few settings that we'll need to change first. So back on our dashboard, we've got Profile Management here. I want to change this to be Yes. And then another thing is we want to change our download location and our mod staging location. So I'm going to go to Settings, and I've actually already changed the download location, but I'll show you guys where I put it. We're going to go my E drive here, and then in Vortex. Then I created a new folder here called Downloads. I'm going to select that folder, and then make sure to hit Apply right here. And then over in the Mods tab, we're going to want to do the same thing. So it by default puts it in the C directory under app data. We want to change that to be our own folder on our own modded drive if we have one. So I'm going to go back to browse, and then back to that folder, E, and then Vortex. And then I've made a new folder here called Mod Staging. Select that folder, and then hit apply. So now that that's all set up, we now have this little tab here. Because Skyrim is being managed, it added this additional tab here. You can go to collections and hit discover more collections, and it's going to bring up the Nexus page. So right here, it should be one of the ones right at the top, Gate To Sovngarde. It's going to give you all the information for this mod list. It's going to show you all the mods if you want to look at them. It's going to show you all the about information, vanilla versus what Gate of Sovngarde looks like, graphics and performance, pre-requirements, and then this is the most important part here, the installation. So I didn't mention this, but you will need to install Microsoft C++. That is pretty much a requirement for all mod lists, including the ones in Wabjack. We've already set our profile management to yes, and then the next step here is to add this to Vortex. So once we add it to Vortex, it'll actually make another profile called Gate To Sovngarde, and that's why you need to do that. So we're going to hit Add Collection here, continue. All right, so it's popped up here. We want to make sure that it has installed this collection to create new profile. You can do it on default, but it's going to do a new profile, which is highly recommended. Hit install now, and it's going to create that Gate To Sovngarde profile, and hit yes. And now it's going to pop up here. It's going to start downloading all the mods that it needs. It's going to start installing all the mods that it needs. So just let it do its thing. Don't interrupt the installation process. So I'm going to let it do its thing, and then we'll come back when it's done. All right, we're back in. So right here, we've got the installation collection. It says it was completed. Now, one last thing you'll need to do, if you have the Anniversary Edition update, you can go ahead and hit this button here to install your optional mods. That just includes all the Anniversary Edition content. So I do have that version, so I'm going to hit that. And it's going to go ahead and install all those additional plugins and some of the creations from the Anniversary Edition. It shouldn't take too long, I wouldn't imagine. All right, we're back. So I was wrong. The additional content for the Anniversary Edition did take about 20 minutes. Not too terrible, but again, it's just Vortex. Vortex is just a little slower than some of the other mod organizer programs out there like Wabjack. Once that's complete, we can hit done. And then if you want, you can go and look at all the mods here that are enabled. There should be no disabled ones. So if we sort here, we can go to the disabled. There should be no disabled ones anymore. There used to be some disabled ones, but they should all now be enabled and initialized. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to go to dashboard. We want to go to tools here, and we want to set the Skyrim script extender to be as primary. So when we run this, it's going to use the Skyrim script extender as default. So now we should be ready to run this. We can go to profiles here and find the Gate To Sovngarde, and just make sure you're highlighted over it. See, you got your default profile, and then this one here. And then we can go up to the top here and hit this run button. All right, so I was having the issue where I had the scaling problem, where if you have a 4K screen, it doesn't scale correctly. It makes the image too large and it cuts off the image. So in order to fix that, a lot of times I don't even have to mess with this because it just kind of fixes itself as long as I just relaunch it. But in this case, it did not fix itself. So we're gonna have to go to our install files here, within where we moved the Skyrim files earlier, and then right click on this one here, Skyrim SE, go to properties, compatibility, and then change high DPI settings. And we want to check this right here, override high DPI scaling behavior. Click OK, apply, OK. And now it should launch correctly in 4K. Let's see what happens here. All right, and that looked like it worked. It was all scaled correctly. Let's see here. It looks like it did keep some of my saves. However, we want to make sure we do a new save. We do not want to use any pre-existing saves. I'm going to do a new game here. All right, got your standard character creation, it looks like. Actually, it looks a little different. Looks like you've got some presets here. No presets, just sliders. Oh, that's a good looking cat character. You guys know I always pick a cat character. Mr. Kitty, we'll just go with a standard one here. All right. Thank you for installing Gate To Sovngarde. Press OK to wait while everything is set up. Okay, yeah, so I don't see any MCMs that are still running or trying to load, so I think we're good to go there.
Speak
So,
and fulfilled your
okay.
destiny.
All right, cool. So this is like the Another Life with a dragon. All right, Mr. Dragon. Let's see what we got going on here. We're just going to do a standard. I like to start out in Riverwood. Keep things consistent here. So we're going to go to the Sleeping Giant Inn. Okay. I think that worked. Try sleeping. Can't sleep in this location. Oh, okay. So we kind of got to, looks like, go through and activate all of our stuff here. Choose up to 3 traits. Okay. I'm just in a band. All right. Wow, this is a lot. Wow, that's a lot of options there. Okay. All right. The backstabber. Absolutely. Gotta be a sneaky character. Left hand is empty. I wonder if that means you can have a single sword and then have, like, healing or something. We'll get some bow skills. Fast shot. Actually, that sounds pretty cool. Bows and crossbows draw 50% faster. Okay. I'm in. All right, and the last one we're going to do is critical strike. Your attacks are 15% more likely to be critical, but you do 15% less damage with weapons and magic. Okay. All right, let's see what's in here. Okay, cool. Take it all. Might as well just take everything we see here. Ooh. Don't forget your cheese. Hammer, huh? Alright, okay. See what's in our closet. Sure, they've got some nice... Oh, wow. Wow. A lot of cool stuff. Okay. I mean, screw it. Might as well just take everything. And then we got one more chest here. They give you a lot of stuff to start here. This might make me overbearing on my weight if I take everything. Let's see what happens. Oh no, my carry weight's so good. I'm still under. All right, now that we've done all that, I guess we'll just go out the door. Okay, here we go. We are in the Sleeping Giant.
Hard not to.
You to take care of it now, could I?
Okay, there we go. I was carrying too much to be able to run. I thought I had 300 when I was in that place, and now it's telling me I only have 200. So I had to drop a few things here. But, alright, let's take a look at some stuff. I don't know about those fires, guys. Kind of mid. Like, what's going on here? It looks okay. It's not the best fire I've ever seen. They're getting a lot of smoke in here, too. Look at our NPCs while we're at it. Isn't this Delphine? Why does it say female Brenton? And male Nord. Where are their names? Look pretty standard. How about this guy?
Greetings.
What is this, like identity politics? Everyone's like, okay, I'm a red guard. I'm just a Nord. Does no one have names? What is this? Kind of weird. Alright, let's go check out Riverwood here.
The name's Hjormir, and I'm just the man for the job.
No, your name is Male Nord. Alright, this is cool. More vanilla than I'm used to. But I'm assuming this will run on lower end specs. We're doing a visual test first, and then we'll do a performance test, but I can tell this is running pretty nicely. Not the most elaborate looking visuals I've ever seen in a mod list, at least not so far, but I just want to really quickly see what I'm getting here. Oh yeah, that's pretty crazy. So I'm running this at 4K. I'm getting 128 FPS. That is wild. But again, not as many mods with this one. So we'll do the performance test, like I said, a little later. That's just a preview. Again, you can jump ahead to the chapters if you want to go and check that out immediately. But this is pretty solid for the visuals. I like this. Go ahead and make it a little brighter out here. Oh man, I'm like naked. I need to put on some clothes. Okay, looks like survival mode is turned on. I'd actually want to turn that off. Oh, there it is. Okay. Just for this showcase. Survival mode, you know, is not bad. But I don't want to have survival mode on right now, because I'm going to be doing a lot of fast traveling and going different places. And we don't want to have to deal with food and hunting and all that fun stuff. So yeah, this is solid. This is pretty good. What's up, drunkie? So I gotta go get more drinks. I'm going back to the sleeping inn to get a drink. And let's see, yeah, this is okay, just sun's out. Sun's out, guns out, no clouds. Full send, is that what the kids say? Alright, let's go check out the water here. Water, I just saw a quick glimpse of it. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, this is running really well. And it does look really good. Now, this is a smaller mod list. It only has about 100 gigs worth of mods. Pretty solid water, though. What's going on down there? Yeah, and before I forget, let's put on a little bit of clothing here. Let's check out our swords real quick. Oh, we got a whip. The whip. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, guys, we got a whip. Yeah. What's the damage on this? Probably not very high. It's only 4. You know, let's see how it goes. See how it goes. Put it away for now. I know you guys are getting after me about keeping all my stuff out. So this is coming up over that hill. I mean, this does look really good for what it is. And yeah, it's running amazingly. Where you at, wolf? See how the wolf looks? Come on. Come on. Whoa. Got some speed on this one. Yeah. I'm gonna whip this wolf. Okay, so not like too much for added like blood mods, you know, a little bit here and there. Nothing too crazy. Sometimes these mod lists kind of got that like Kill Bill gore going on, where everything just explodes when you take them out. This is cool though. There it is. White Run. This has a lot more of a vanilla feel if you're going for that. Graphics aren't too crazy either. I mean, it still looks pretty solid, even in, you know, for a mod list in 2025. I like it. It's subtle. But you're not going to get like your crazy grasses and whatnot from what I can tell. I'm going into this pretty blind right now. So you got your standard quests. Oh, look at that. It shows you like the giant's health, his magic, and stamina meter. That's pretty cool. Final blow. Got him.
Fight with us and you'll have stories to tell.
Uh-oh.
Handle yourself well.
Oh, I was trying to get away from these people. No, no, no. No. I don't want to join your cult. Nothing too crazy going on with the NPCs. That looks good though. Outside of the castle here. Yeah, so I can already tell, like, if you guys have a lower end system, this is a great mod list to install. Fortunately, you have to deal with Vortex, which, you know, no one wants to have to deal with Vortex. But it's not too horrible.
City's quiet enough now. Cause trouble in Whiterun and I'll haul you into the Dragon's Reach dungeon myself.
I thought they'd stop me here because I assumed some of the vanilla quests are in place. Alright, here we are in Whiterun.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an
This is
order
cool.
that size on my own.
Looks good though, I mean, it really does. It's not as, like I said, elaborate with some of the crazy parallax mods, but this is still pretty solid, honestly.
Have it your way. I'll take the job. And don't expect a miracle.
The houses look cool. The stone, actually this, I mean, everything put together looks pretty solid overall.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot
Put my whip away, sorry guys.
But we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to find that fuse. I can't stop now. I can't get the sword out.
Yeah, if you guys really want to go for something more vanilla and essentially trying to keep the original aesthetics of the original game, but still want some mods, this so far is a solid list to go with.
Hi there.
What's up, bro? Not sold on these fires though, you know? What's going on here? They're like very smoky too. Like this whole place is gonna be smoke at some point.
And what?
I'm the Jarl, not a barkeep. Speak your business.
Alright, so it doesn't look like the vanilla mods are in place. He's not asking me about the dragon or anything like that. But I don't think this is a Legends of the Dragonborn either. So it's my understanding that this mod list is like dynamic. Something you do or some way that you interact with an NPC can have real world effects. Which is pretty cool.
Greymane or Battleborn?
Like, see, I can talk to this guy and he'll say Greymane and Battleborn.
Then you're either a Stormcloak sympathizer or a fool. Either way, you're no friend of mine.
And then it has speechcraft
Need
here.
something?
Command, beg, fight. So it looks like there's just a bunch of different dialogue options with some of these NPCs that'll change the world. As far as I'm understanding.
I don't think so.
So this mod list is pretty much more about like immersion with a little bit of a focus on graphics, not like too crazy. But when it comes to like mechanics, this is kind of going for that crazy immersion role-playing experience without like all the added quest lines and different like skill tree mechanics while still maintaining the vanilla aspects of this game. So for example, let's go look at our skills really quick here. Okay, so even this is the same. If we go to skills, yeah, see, this is all very similar to your vanilla Skyrim experience. Yep, I don't think any of this changed. This is all your standard perk trees. So going through here. So the biggest changes are some of the graphics, obviously, and then the dynamic world with some of the quests. All right, cool. So let's go check out some other areas. I'm going to show all map markers here. Actually, I'll give us a chance to check out our map. Oh, wow. Whoa. This is way different than any map I've seen in any mod list. Cool, though. It's kind of like an old school map. Whoa. Go check out Solitude. So this quest is still in place, or at least this event. Not really a quest. See what else we got here. Oh, this is a good chance to check out the night. Oh, this is different than what I've seen. Cool. What time is it? 12 a.m. Okay. Let's see how this changes, actually. Whoa! You can wait up to 72 hours. Oh, that's interesting. That's new. Typically, your max is 24. Oh, okay. Everything just went black on me. Oh, no, there it started changing. I don't know what that was all about. It's not a very fast one either. I like the ones where the wait timer is like super fast when you go through it. Because I'm just trying to get back to nighttime. Oh, let's stop it there. Okay, so there are some different auras and different skyscapes. That's cool. And then it makes the area a little brighter around here, because it's a different little skyscape. We got a little snow going on. This is a cool Solitude. I like to do the night test in Solitude. They always got good plant life and whatnot through Solitude, and I like these trees too. But anyway, yeah, let's go check out Riften now. More snow.
I had another run-in with
Time is it? 4:55 a.m.
The Thieves Guild has made.
Go for like an afternoon, sunny type day going on here.
I don't know you. You and Riften looking for trouble?
Just exit out.
Pretend not to hear me all you want.
Don't make me whip
better
you.
Stay out of the Blackbriar's business.
Don't make me do it.
I'm really getting tired of your excuses. When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time for double the usual fee.
All right, this is a cool Riften. Pretty vanilla with some added textures.
Yeah?
Water looks pretty good for Riften. Sometimes the water, they do some of these water mods and I'm like, I don't know about that, especially when you're in Riften. Although it looks like it's almost like a mist. That doesn't really look right, does it? No, I guess it's just like a fog over the water. Like it's steaming a little bit. Actually, not too bad. I like it. I like it. All right. Coming around here. I'm still not sold on these fires. You know, come on. They could do a little better on the fire. Add a little to the immersion, right? The hell's the bee in the barb? Here we go.
Pull up a seat.
Now, no need for weapons.
Don't make me whip you.
I've been looking for you.
Female Nord.
Stupid dog. Yeah. What's your problem?
I hate how they don't have names. That's bothering me so much. Female Nord.
Stranger here too, huh?
Female Nord.
Kirava,
What are
we're
you?
running low on Blackbriar mead.
Female Dark.
Only Maven would stop raising the price on it. Maybe I could
Lizard King.
stock more cases.
We could always look for another brand.
That isn't an option. Maven sees me serve.
Actually, that's not too bad for this area.
Graves.
Okay, the fire. Your assets aren't like the 4K assets or 2K or 1K or whatever.
Riften has problems of its own.
You've got the
Now is
coin.
not the time.
But this mod list definitely focuses on your performance. That's for sure.
I'd miss you terribly.
And moving into some more of the visuals, this is a Daedric armor set. And I like some of the subtle touches. Actually, it's pretty cool. You've got like your potions like on your belt there. That's pretty solid. You can actually see your character's eyes with this helmet. And you know, it's a pretty standard Daedric armor set, but it looks really cool and just adds a bunch of extra little touches. And then these are your swords. This is your standard Daedric sword, and then the Dawnbreaker here. One of my favorite builds. I just spawned in all this stuff just to show you guys what it looks like. And then moving right into some of the combat. Okay. Interesting, the music didn't change. That might be a little bit of a bug here. But pretty standard combat, you know, your hack and slash Skyrim type leveling. Is that it? No one else around here? Oh. Someone's shooting me. Oh, here we go. There we go. And there's your finisher kill. I think that was one of the perks that I added. So some of the other mechanics you guys saw in the beginning of the video, you can pick 3 of your perk trees, like your special perks. But right now, one of them, mine is increased chance of a finisher. I have better abilities and sneak, and then I have quick draw with my arrows. And we'll go ahead and equip our Daedric bow so I can show you at least some of these perks. So I've got my bow. And essentially, it just increases how fast I can draw. So I can do like a bunch of quick fires here. And I actually thought it would be a little faster than this, and maybe I'm doing something wrong here. But I thought I could get my bow to shoot a little bit faster with the perks that I have. Alright, so kind of weird. I just fast traveled to Riverwood so we could start the performance part of this review. And when I go into crouch, it ends up turning the lights off. I'm not really sure if this is a bug or if this is like supposed to be like this for sneak. I don't know why that would be the case, but there might be something wrong with the community shaders. But anyway, starting out with a performance. So in the top left here, I've got a performance overlay. My system is a 4080 Super with a 9800X 3D, 32 gigs of RAM, and I run these at 4K resolution. And so far, this is the best performance I've seen of any Modlist. Now, this Modlist doesn't have like some of the crazy parallax that you see in some other Modlists, but it still does a pretty good job on the visuals. So I'm going to turn this to daytime so we can get a better idea of our performance readings. And another thing is this uses, like I said, community shaders. So instead of an ENB, it uses community shaders. You can use an ENB, but you would have to disable the community shaders and install your own ENB manually. If I hit end on my keyboard, it'll bring up the community shaders. And really quick, because my performance is so good, I kind of want to see if certain things like frame generation is enabled. Yep, so frame generation is enabled, which is why we're getting such crazy frame rate. So I am actually going to turn it off because I want to see what kind of performance we're getting with raw performance, no frame generation. And you just saw there before I turned off my overlay, which I will turn back on in a second here so we see this menu, but I was getting 134 frames per second. So I got this turned off, and I think I have to, yeah, I probably have to hit save up here. I think that's all you have to do with community shaders. I don't think there's an apply button. So let's turn that off, hit end on the keyboard, turn my overlay back on, and still really good performance. Like, wow, 103 FPS, and this is running, like I said, 4K resolution. And by the way, I'm not like knocking on this mod list. I'm just saying it doesn't like have as crazy visuals as some other ones like Nolvus. It's still really good visuals overall, especially if you're running on a lower system. And this is pretty solid as well. I mean, I can't complain about 102 FPS, especially with like these increased visuals. This is actually pretty wild. So let's see here. We're coming over around the bridge, and I like to kind of look over the river because that's where I see a lot of the frame dips. You're kind of looking this way towards the city. And yeah, as I thought, 75 FPS, still really good frame rate overall, and it still does look really good. I actually really like this water, to be honest. The water does look pretty solid. Sometimes the water is objective, but a lot of times these mod lists, I'm not a huge fan of some of the water that they use. And I also can tell that this is using community shaders because things like your sun and like when you're out in the middle of the day are not as bright. If you're using an ENB, like this is going to look a lot brighter, but it still looks pretty solid, and they're coming a long way with those community shaders. Like, I might have to give them another go on some of my other mod lists that I've tested out. So, coming up over the hill here, 90 FPS. Oh, that wolf's gone. And let's just go ahead and fast travel right into Whiterun, so we can save a little bit of time here, see what kind of frame rate we're getting there. Okay, and it's raining, solid. Getting 70-ish FPS, 75 with the rain. I am gonna see if I can clear up this rain though. Maybe. Maybe not. Nope. Like we're gonna have to wait a little longer. And that is another thing I'm not a big fan of with this mod list. I like the wait mods that are just like super quick. Like it's just like bam, you're already where you want to be within a couple seconds. This one is like your standard Skyrim where you have to like really wait around for a while. So okay, here we go. Got a little daytime. And this is one of the benchmarks I like to look at. Pretty solid, about 100. Pretty solid. And another benchmark here is kind of looking down. Normally there's a guy standing right here. I don't know, maybe he's, you know, asleep still. But looking down through this way, that's pretty solid too, 107 FPS. And again, like I said, we turned off the frame generation. But the frame generation is a good option if you have a lower end system, actually. So coming up through here, getting around like 106, 109. Kind of jumping all over the place, to be honest. 80, 90. The key thing here is that we're breaking 60, so we get that really buttery smooth frame rate. And let's check out a shop real quick. Oh. Unlock. Is he really not here? Alright, we'll go to Arcadia's. Bellathor, man. Was he like hungover or something? Alright, so whoa, okay. Looking at certain areas of this shop, I'm getting about 150. 154. And then obviously when I start looking at things like assets like the fire, 142.
Has your fever cooled?
I don't want to talk about this.
I see.
Kind of interesting how many different NPCs are everywhere. And from my understanding, every single one of these NPCs has their own like custom dialogue, which is what makes this mod list so much more of an RPG than even Skyrim itself. Like every single NPC has their own dialogue and they change the world based on that dialogue. It's just crazy. Let's go check out some fields. Actually, really quick. Okay, it does have the Tundra Homestead, so there's some of the anniversary content. Let's go check out this field this time around. Tundra Homestead. Yeah, and you're probably going to get some pretty solid performance. Like, I wanted to do like a grass test, but there isn't really like the crazy 3D wavy grass in this mod list. A lot of shrubbery and whatnot, but it's still pretty good performance because you don't have those crazy grass mods. So getting around like 85 to 90 through here. Solid. Uh-oh. Whoa. Okay. All right. Time for a battle. Man. Oh. Oh God. I mean, like, dude, I wasn't part of that fight. This is getting intense. It really needs some quick items right now. Uh-oh. All right, let's get into the town. This is not good. This is not looking good for the home team. Well, anyway, there's a little more combat for you guys. And we can see what the performance is like with that combat. And also the arrows. I'm supposed to have some kind of like quick draw thing going on here. But it seems like it's just as fast. I have like the perk that's supposed to be like quick draw. But it's not super... Is that as far as he's gonna go? Does he have like a limit? Oh shit. Let's go. Okay, alright. Oh, I keep trying to hit the other button. I'm like used to hitting like the right click on my mouse. Oh man, he is like hauling. Alright, let's get closer to a guard. We can get him. We can get him. Oh man, I keep hitting the wrong button there. Alright. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I have like the quick draw thing going on with my perks. That should do her. Oh, almost. Got him. Whoa. These giants are out of control. Out in the distance, there was like an elk that just flew. What the heck's going on here? So anyway, that'll do it for this video. If there's any other mod lists you guys would like me to review, I know there's one that's, I think, a port that's in Wabbajack that's like Gates of Sovngarde, but it's called like the Hall of Sovngarde or something like that. So I might be checking that out in a future video. So if that interests you, subscribe to the channel. If there's any other mod lists or anything that you'd like me to review, let me know down below in the comments. And as always, have a wonderful day.